is your play-along video for Twinkle Twinkle with inverted chords. Let's get started. We've learned how to build chords on the scale. Here are the chords we could build on the C scale. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and then of course we would come back to C major. And we've learned that we number these chords from 1 to 7 with Roman numerals like this. We've learned that major chords have capital letters and minor chords and diminished chords have lowercase letters, the diminished with a small circle. We've learned that when we put these chords together in an ear-pleasing way, it's called a chord progression. Today, we're going to learn how to do some somersaults with our chords. Let's take a look at the 3 most important chords, the 1, the 4, and the 5. Here is the 1 chord in the key of C. In a C chord, the C is on the bottom. When the note that names the chord is on the bottom, we say the chord is in its root position. Just like a tree has the roots on the bottom, so the chord has the key note on the bottom. But I want the C chord to do a somersault. So I'm going to roll it over and put the C that's on the bottom on the top instead. Now I'm playing the same 3 notes, C, E, and G, but now the C is on the top. In music language, we'd say that I have inverted this chord. Invert means to put things in a different order. Here, we have put the notes of the chords in a different order. Musically, we would say that I am playing the C chord in its first inversion. But now let's do another somersault. Now I'm going to take the E that's at the bottom and put it on the top. I'm still playing the same 3 notes, C, E, and G, in its second inversion. Now, if we did one more somersault and took the G on the bottom and put it on top, we're back to the C chord we started with the C on the bottom. Now, let's take a look at our 4 chord. F, A, and C. Here, the F chord is in its root position because F, which names the chord, is on the bottom. Now, we're going to roll it over and put the F from the bottom on the top. This is an F chord in its first inversion. Now let's roll it over again, or invert it again. The A on the bottom goes on the top. Now we have an F chord in its second inversion. And if we inverted it again, took the C and put it on top, then we're back to the F chord in its root position because F is again at the bottom. Now let's take a look at a G chord. First we play it in its root position. Next we play it in its first inversion. Then we play it in its second inversion. And go one more time. We're back to its root position. Now there's something fun we can do with that 5 chord. We start with the G chord and we go up 7 notes of the C scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we come to an F. And if we add that F to our chord, oh, it sounds really nice. But it kind of leaves you feeling unresolved, like, okay, it's waiting for something to happen. It wants to go home. Well, where is home? Listen. Ah, that sounds like it came home. And what is the home chord? The 1 chord, which is C. The home sound has a name in music. It's called the tonic. The 1 chord, the tonic chord, is the home tone. So we go from a, oh, yes. Now when we add the 7th note to our 5 chord, we put a little 7 next to the 5, and it looks like this. Now, let's invert this chord root position, put the G on top. First inversion, put the B on top. Second inversion, now put the D on top. Since we have 4 notes, we have 1 extra inversion. We have the third inversion, and if we rolled it over again and put the F on top, we're back to the root position. Now, in our chord progression today, we're going to use our 5/7 chord in its first inversion. It sounds beautiful, but it's really quite a handful for beginning piano players, so we're going to leave 1 note out. We're going to take out the D and keep these 3 notes. Now it's easy to play. So let's build a chord progression using our inverted chords. We start with the 1 chord. Next, we're going to go to the 4 chord, but it's hard to jump all the way up to F in its root position, so we're going to play the F chord in its second inversion with the F in the middle. Now it's easy to go from C to F and back. Easy. Next, we're going to play our 5/7 chord in its first inversion, and it's easy to get from the 5/7 back to the 1 chord. So our whole progression in the key of C using inverted chords would be 1, 4, 1, 5/7, 1. And it feels like our chords have come home. And a chord progression that sounds like our song has come to an end that brings a sense of resolution, like it's coming home. We call that chord progression a cadence. We've just played a very commonly used cadence in the key of C. Now, before we go, let's take the chords we've learned today and use them in the accompaniment of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Come home to the C chord, to the tonic. That's all for now. Good job. See you next time.